Welcome to Eatclusive. My name is Faison, and here is my partner, Jihi. Back in 2021, I volunteered at the Warrior Food Pantry at El Camino College in Southern California. From then, I recognized many subtle but very unique problems within pantries, and my desire to solve these problems ever so slightly grew after moving to Michigan and living alone. At Michigan, I was desperate to find my food. Growing up as a Muslim American, half Pakistani and half Burmese, cultural produce such as spices and herbs were a big part of my traditional food. Similarly, as we investigated food pantries, we noticed the same recurring problem, which led us to the question of how might we provide cultural produce to the local communities and increase accessibility? We conducted with leaders in the food pantries around Ann Arbor and the state of Michigan community who support thousands of consumers in distributions of millions of pounds of food yearly. What we found was that cultural produce was a major problem among every pantry. And most were open to the idea of implementing a solution that would tackle food insecurity using cultural produce. In addition, we gathered key insights to the pantries such as daily routines, finances, and supply ecosystems.
Through further background research across the internet, we confirmed our assumed problem of the lack of cultural produce in pantries. However, we noticed no attempt in a solution. From our initial research, we concluded our main problem was a lack of variety in food pantries, despite the high demand for cultural produce. Keith Soster from Maize and Blue Cupboard mentioned they bought over 1,000 spices and sold out in just a week and a half. As a solution to solve this problem, we wanted to provide pantries with a self-sustaining system that can grow cultural produce. After defining variety as our major problem, we derived two correlated topics that can be addressed as well. Firstly is labor. Pantry workers are occupied by physically intensive tasks and most often do not have the time to take care of growing plants. Our solution has to require little to no maintenance. Secondly, lack of communication. Pantries have told us that they have a hard time communicating the demand and produce that they supply to their customers. In summary, Eatclusive is going to offer a two-part solution. The growing technology will be a physical planting system for pantries to grow cultural produce. The other is a mobile application that can facilitate communication between the pantries and consumers, which will provide what the community really wants.
Our growing tech will be using an inexpensive and highly adaptable NASA patented technology that will lessen labor for pantries by more than 20%. If we talk about sustainability, no planting tech has the potential of providing the exact water to edible produce with no moving parts and no electricity. Our technology will also be modular and easily adaptable to the small spaces that pantries suffer from. And lastly, using easy to manufacture techniques and common plastic parts, we can make this technology affordable.
The mobile application is going to have two accounts and two different functionalities. Here's the flow of the general options both pantries and consumers will be going through. And in the next slide, we'll go more in depth. For pantries, they will be able to browse and purchase the subscription based on the number of consumers and the size of the pantries. Our UI will be user-friendly and include notification to the pantries for important care and harvest information. On the consumer side, they can view a produce map to see what pantries are growing and supplying. They will also be given the opportunity to register and select the preferred cultural product that consumers want.
First up of the subscription will be to choose between 3 categories that increase in size increments of 50 people. By default, there will be a tech and bio package and mobile application, which will vary in this number according to the subscription size pantries have chosen. The second step will allow the pantries to customize the default and edit the number of units to be tailored to their own pantries. After averaging the cost of the entire year for all tech and bio-packaged material, including labor, for the small subscription size, we came up with $7 per month or $85 per year to produce chili peppers. Let's see the cost benefit at a smaller scale. At Kroger, we can see per ounce cost of red chili at $1.15. Multiply this by the packaging size, standard packaging size at 5 ounces, we can see 50 people, it costs $266 per month. However, if we do the same calculations for Eatclusive technology, we can see per ounce of red chili only costing 11 cents, and the same 50 people with 5 ounces costing a whopping $5.60 per month.
After innovation in action, we plan to license the patent technology as quickly as we can with NASA Kennedy Space Center and begin developing this technology over the summer. By the end of the year, we'll be manufacturing and completing the first MVP, which will be tested at local pantries we're in close contact with.
Eatclusive's technology has massive potential to be extended to other produce. This affordable, manageable system helps pantries to be self-sustained. The greatest impact of Eatclusive is the boost in people's morale. This will provide happiness, comfort, and the hope for the people who may need it the most at the moment. We truly see the impact of this product to benefit the community by helping them find home in their food.
My name is Ji Yoon, and I am part of the Master of School of Information, and I'm currently studying human-computer interaction.
Hey, my name is Faison, and I am part of College of Engineering, studying mechanical engineering with a minor in entrepreneurship. We greatly appreciate the time and effort each and everyone at Innovation in Action had in the process of Eatclusive, the food pantries for their dedication and service, and the folks from NASA, Christy and Michaela. And we please contact us if you have any questions to connect. And thank you so much.
Great job, team. That was amazing. Why don't you go ahead and stop sharing your screen, and then whatever judge would like to start, please go ahead and jump right in.
Great presentation. So it sounds like the issue that you've identified around lack of diversity of food and produce in pantries, the solution you came up with was a technology solution where pantries would grow their own food. And so I'm curious, why did you start there? So, you know, for pantries, how many, can you speak a little bit more about the people you spoke to who work at pantries who currently do the processing? Because I volunteered at pantries and it's a very challenging environment, and they are often volunteer run and capacity is low. And even if you had an amazing technology system, it still requires quite a bit of logistics to be able to grow produce, package it, and do all of those things.
Absolutely. We really want to make this product extremely low maintenance. We really want to emphasize this because this technology is been used in space with astronauts who cannot spend the time to put any labor into this. So this technology will give drop to plant, like the exact amount of water to the plants with no maintenance or low maintenance. So you attach the seed to a bungee system and let it grow for 2 to 3 weeks, and all you do is harvest.
So maybe I should clarify my question. I'm sure that the system itself is great for an individual person. My question was more broad on a logistics scale in terms of how you're going to feed a community of people. How is this the right, or can you explain why this is the right solution for a big group of you know, entire community of people?
Absolutely. If we speak about a certain community wanting a certain spice, I believe having a very adaptable, very quick and easy way to serve that need of that community will be a great way using our technology.
Just to add to that answer, so I think that's a really great question. And so To begin with, we kind of envision our technology and project to begin from a cultural produce because of all these very moral reasons behind it, but also because spices and herbs are usually not the main source of produce that they will eat as like food or meal, but it is more of an addition to their cultural ethnic dignity and some of these very important factors that can really boost up their mood every day. So from there, we kind of envision this technology as an assistive tool to what pantries are already serving to the community. So then the reason why we kind of added this request produce and be in the wish list or like a wait list for all these produce at pantries is because of that question that you asked about the supply issues. Because some pantries are a little more smaller scale and they don't all the time, like they usually don't have enough space or enough people to really help a large amount of people. So then just really providing a tool that these pantries can track like how many people and how much produce that they are actually going to be providing to the community is really going to help for them to actually like have a better sense of how much of this technology that they need to adopt in their facility. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
So either the two of you are completely insane or this is just perfectly genius. Like there's a part of me that's like, you've identified a problem that I think not a lot of people think about. It's a really important problem. You've identified the kind of all the stuff around it. And then you're fixing it with something from NASA. And I'm like, let's just buy spices. But there's a part of this that I think could really work. One, like I think that probably the kinds of spices you're imagining, the kinds of additions to meals, and I think that that's a genius point here, that you're not, this isn't the protein source, this isn't the main kind of set of vegetables, it's this addition, but it's also probably hard to find in some places, right? And so like I think one thing is like where are people going to get seeds? How, like I think seeds are going to be a problem. And how are you going to kind of get the right seeds into the machine for the particular population? Like it seems like that's a very hard set of problems, and maybe there needs to be several machines. And so then space is an issue, and often pantries don't have space. But one thing I really like about this is like I think that this machine would be fun for people to look at when they come in, and it would kind of foreground the presence of these people in the community, because you'd be like, I'm growing this spice for this culture, right? And you could like have a little sign up on the machine that says that. So again, either you're entirely crazy or this is perfect. And I'm just going to need to decide which.
Absolutely. If you would like me to answer some of the questions that you had. So the first thing is we want to make it very adaptable, and the pantries can customize it, tailored to whatever way they want it in terms of units. Each tube will include 6 plants, and on each of the tubes, and you would attach the seed on there. And talking about the seed situation, we are going to be looking at the logistics of how we can buy in large bulks of seeds and supply the pantries that need them the most according to what their demand is. And so that I believe the bio package is going to include the seeds that they are necessarily wanting to have for their subscription. And we most likely will be able to decrease the cost for them and decrease the size the cost for us, because we're being the middleman for the supply.
I know we're almost out of time, but I have one. Can I go, Ann, or no?
Yeah.
You want to? Yeah. So one question I think Stacy really highlighted this, and Trevor too, that pantries are basically run by volunteers. They're often in churches, there's space. Why wouldn't you give these kits out to the people in the communities? Like why, and I'm sure you probably thought about this. So why I mean, people complain all, you know, a pantry is open 2 hours a week. It's when I'm at work, or, you know, like it's not on my bus route, right? Like all of these things. So why, and I know you did the research. I want to hear why.
I would love to answer this question because this is my favorite part, is that these communities are underserved communities. To put this into perspective, most of these families are working 3 jobs, like 2 jobs, and working extremely hard. They cannot cook firstly, so they find perishable foods, things that they can quickly get and feed to their kids. And when you have this inability to also pay, but also have this food insecurity, together we are trying to attach this technology to the pantries that are trying to serve the community, and where they are able to have these things accessible to them without worrying too much about many other things. And I believe going back to like maintenance and communication with the pantry is a lot easier than going individually to each person and talking about a single plant and a single seed, where we can just be talking about like, here is where we want to have more demand in one location. And a person can just be looking around on the map, on the application, to see where the seeds can be already been done, or like the produce has already been harvested and collected, and they can just quickly pick it up.